Well, hi everybody, and good Tuesday morning to meteorologist Travis Kleneski here this morning. A couple of things that we're watching early this morning, a couple of isolated thunderstorms in southeast Nebraska, not really threatening to be severe, but bringing some quick downpours, a little bit of lightning and thunder, maybe some gusty winds out there. Otherwise, a little fog to the northwest of the Tri-Cities this morning. Now, there's a frontal boundary that's dropped south close to the I-80 corridor. That front, that cold front's actually going to lift back to the north as a warm front today. And as that lifts northward, the wind speeds are going to increase out of the south and the southeast. It will be a rather breezy day, stronger winds the farther west you go. So that frontal boundary will be up here near the Nebraska and South Dakota border by the end of the afternoon, basically about right here. That's where our warm front will be. It's right there. So that front will be the trigger mechanism for thunderstorms as we get towards this evening. We're going to be watching initially for the threat of some isolated supercell thunderstorms that could produce some very large hail, possibly isolated tornadoes. And while this is mostly near and north of the Nebraska-South Dakota border, some models do have this a little farther south to include areas in the sandhills of Nebraska. Later into the nighttime hours, this will become more of a line of storms that will push eastward and maybe producing some strong damaging wind gusts. But then as we get late into the night and into tomorrow morning, that threat should drop down. Now that front will drop back to the south as a cold front late tonight, and it will be situated close to Interstate 80, about right there. But it's going to lift back to the north as a warm front as we move into the day tomorrow again. So we're going to see those wind speeds picking up during the day. So strong winds out of the south again tomorrow. In fact, probably a little windy out there for your Wednesday. Lots of sunshine again for most of us. Very warm temperatures. That frontal boundary by the end of the day will be once again right there. But there's also a trailing cold front right there. That's our cold front. Our warm front's right here. So that warm front lifting northward allows for very warm, moist air ahead of it, windy conditions, but behind it, here comes that cold front, and storms are expected to move eastward here. Now, initially, once again, just like tonight, this evening, there might be a few supercell thunderstorms, isolated tornadoes, along with the threat of some large hail, very large hail possibly, but then becoming a line of storms, and that's going to be more of a damaging wind gust threat. But as this pushes eastward later in the night, after midnight, it's finally moving into the Tri-Cities area. It does bring us our best chance of rain and thunderstorms in the Tri-Cities in the week ahead, but they will weaken. So I do not expect a big severe thunderstorm threat farther to the southeast, but that front moving through will allow for a cool down. That frontal boundary will basically be situated right in this area right here by Thursday morning and continue to push eastward during the day on Thursday. So we'll be left with breezy west and northwest winds on the backside of that front, driving in some cooler weather as we move into your day on Thursday. So first out, the severe weather threat, and this will be updated here at 8 o'clock. We'll see if this maybe shifts a little north or not. But as of right now, an enhanced risk of severe weather for those northern Nebraska counties. Now, this gets about as far south as Highway 92 here with that marginal threat. But really, I would really think the main threat's going to be up here farther to the north, the northern third of the state. As we look towards tomorrow, once again, severe weather threat highest in the northwest parts of the Local 4 viewing area. And but again, even these areas farther south, we're going to have to watch for that damaging wind gust threat. But by the time it gets to the Tri-Cities area, much weaker storms as they push southeastward later in the nighttime hours. And then as we look towards Thursday, the main threat looks to be to the east. Again, that frontal boundary will be pushing out of southeast Nebraska earlier in the day, most of us in the cooler sector. So before we get to the forecast temperatures for today, Husker Harvest Day is starting today in Grand Island or west of Grand Island, and we will have pretty nice weather out there as we go from the 60s this morning at opening time around 8 o'clock, just before closing at 4 o'clock, about an hour before closing into the mid-80s. A little breezy this afternoon. It seems like winds are always strong out there at Husker Harvest Days, and they'll be fairly strong the next 3 days, so they're going to have to settle that dirt down out there at Husker Harvest Days. Not as windy as it has been in past years, though. 80s today. Tonight we'll drop back into the 60s and 70s again. That frontal boundary diving south, but then lifting back to the north as a warm front tomorrow, so we'll be very warm again. Mid to upper 80s and lower 90s on your Wednesday, but you can see the cooler air out in the panhandle. That's coming in for Thursday, so look at Thursday. Much more comfortable temperatures. In fact, for me, probably the nicest day of the forecast is on Thursday. We'll see 70s for highs. We'll actually, after Thursday, drop back into the 50s for lows Thursday night and Friday morning. That's the coolest night ahead of us here. We warm up into the upper 70s Friday, and we may actually get warmer than that. Iowa's going on the lower end of things. We may break 80 on Friday. if we don't Friday, we certainly will this weekend. Small chance of storms Friday night favoring the southeast. It's not a great chance of much, but and I wouldn't expect much for any kind of a threat of severe storms at this point here. But warmer temperatures for the weekend and early next week. And in fact, as we look down the road and not at Colorado again, we already have that game. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to have that graphic in there. Let's go to the long-range forecast here the next 10 days. We may keep it warm through about Tuesday or so, but it looks like towards the middle of next week, if this graphic can come up, there we go. It looks like we will start to cool things down towards the middle and end of next week once again. All right, with that, got to let you all go. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all again on your Wednesday morning. Take care. God bless. Bye.